Let's be real, folks. The colder and calmer you are around women, the more they can't stop thinking about you. Most men live on the opposite side of that. You text too fast, you reply too long, you explain yourself too much, and every time she pulls back, you push harder. You feel it slipping, so you start doing more, saying more, chasing more. And the more you chase, the less she respects you, the less attracted she feels, and the colder she becomes. You think she wants more effort. In reality, she's turned off by how emotionally available you are to her and unavailable to your core. My friend, I'm here to wake you up, not to comfort you. Women are not obsessed with men who give them everything. They are obsessed with men they can't read. Men who are calm, grounded, and just a little bit out of reach. Men who don't beg for attention, don't fight for reassurance, and don't fall apart when she pulls away. In this video, I'm going to show you why cold, calm men drive women crazy and how to become that kind of man without faking it, without playing dumb games, and without losing your heart in the process. We're going to talk psychology, female instinct, and Stoic discipline. If you're tired of chasing, this is for you. Let's get into it. Number 1. The calm energy that breaks her autopilot. Let's get real, folks. Most women move through their day on emotional autopilot. Work messages, noise, responsibilities, unresolved feelings, social pressure. They're constantly reacting, constantly thinking, constantly adjusting. And every man she interacts with adds to that noise. Men talk too fast, try too hard, explain too much, or push for validation she never offered. So when a man walks in with calm, grounded energy, it hits her nervous system like a shock, a quiet one but a powerful one. To most men, calm looks boring. But to a woman, especially a woman in her 40s or 50s who has dealt with years of emotional drama, it feels rare, it feels masculine, it feels safe, and it snaps her out of autopilot instantly. Let me give you a clear picture. There's a man named Robert, 52, from Denver. Divorced, steady, runs his own accounting firm. And there's Laura, 48, a project manager he met at a wine tasting event. When they first spoke, she was flustered from rushing between work and social commitments. Every man there tried to impress her, loud jokes, over-the-top compliments, forced charm. But not Robert. He spoke slowly. He didn't try to fill every silence. He didn't overshare. He didn't reach for approval. He was just centered. The moment she felt it, her body language changed. She stopped fidgeting. She slowed her breathing. She leaned in slightly without realizing it. Robert didn't do anything special. He wasn't performing. He wasn't trying to win her. He was simply present. Women feel calm energy the way men feel physical beauty, instantly, viscerally, without needing to think. Why does this hit so hard? Because calm is control. Calm is confidence. Calm is emotional self-mastery. And a woman senses it faster than she can explain it. Calm says, I'm not here to be chosen. I choose. I don't chase chaos. I set the tone. I'm grounded with or without you. That's the energy that breaks her autopilot. And it works even stronger when she's used to men who crumble under pressure or who try too hard to entertain her. When you show up with steadiness, she feels the difference immediately. This is also where Stoicism comes in. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the truly powerful man is the one who remains unmoved by external noise. In modern dating, that translates into being a man who doesn't react to her mood, swings her tests, her impatience, or her silence. When she can't shake you, she starts thinking about you. She starts wondering about you. She starts imagining what it would feel like to be around a man who doesn't collapse emotionally. In other words, calm energy doesn't just attract her, it disrupts her patterns. That's why women say things like, "There's something about him even when you haven't done anything obvious." They're responding to your emotional temperature, not your words. And when your temperature is low, steady, controlled, you become the rare presence she pays attention to. Now, if this hits home even a little, drop this in the comments. I feel that. And stay with me because the next part explains why your mystery is the spark she can't ignore. Number 2. The mystery she feels when you don't chase. Let's be real, my friend. A woman feels mystery the moment you break the pattern she's used to. And the pattern she knows better than anything is this: most men chase. They lean in too fast, text too often, react too emotionally, and try to win her before she has even decided what she thinks about them. That's the script she's seen her entire adult life. So when you don't follow it, when you stay calm, instead of chasing, her mind doesn't relax, it wakes up. Understand this clearly. Women interpret everything. Not just what you do, but why you do it. When you don't chase her, she instantly starts searching for meaning. She wonders if you're busy, if you're selective, if you don't need her validation, or if you simply don't operate like the other men she's met. And every one of those possibilities creates curiosity. Curiosity becomes tension, and tension becomes attraction. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about being a man with a life worth living. A man who isn't glued to his phone waiting for her reaction. A man who doesn't crumble if she takes longer to reply. A man who treats communication like an addition to his life, not a replacement for it. When a man moves this way, women feel it instantly. They feel the steadiness, they feel the discipline, they feel the difference. Stoic wisdom sharpens this even more. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." In dating, that means this: you must be willing to let her misinterpret your calm as disinterest. You must be willing for her to assume you're not chasing because you don't care. The average man panics at that. He jumps in to prove himself. He explains, he clarifies, he overcompensates. And that destroys the very mystery that was working in his favor. But the Stoic man, he stays unfazed. Because he knows the truth: a woman's attraction rises when she has to wonder about you. Here's the deeper psychology. When you don't chase, you trigger two instincts inside her. First, she assumes you have purpose, that your mind is focused on something bigger than her. Women find that irresistible because purpose signals strength, direction, and emotional independence. Second, she assumes you have options. Women are far more attracted to men other women want, not because of competition, but because desire is contagious. When you don't chase, her mind automatically fills in the blanks. He must not be desperate. Someone else probably wants him. Whether those things are true or not doesn't matter. What matters is that she feels them. But let me be clear, my friend. Not chasing doesn't mean being rude or cold. It means you're not doing more than she's earned. You're not racing ahead of her emotional investment. You're not giving her the comfort of knowing she can have you anytime she wants. You are warm but unpressured. You are present but not dependent. You are engaged but never needy. When you hold that balance, she starts leaning in without realizing it. She texts more. She initiates conversations. She pays attention to your tone. She tries to understand your rhythm. She starts investing. And that investment, not your effort, is what makes attraction deepen. If this hit you in the chest, even a little, drop this below. I feel that. Stay with me. Because the next part explains why the harder she tries to read you, the stronger her desire becomes. Number 3. The attraction she builds when she can't read you. Listen, my friend. One of the strongest forces in female psychology isn't comfort. It's uncertainty. Not chaos, not confusion. Just enough uncertainty to make her pay attention. When a woman can't fully read you, she starts building attraction without even noticing it. And this isn't a game. It's the simple truth of how human desire works. Predictable things get ignored. Unpredictable things get studied. Let me paint the picture for you. Take Mark, 47, a guy who recently got divorced. He's calm, steady, works in finance, and isn't loud about anything he does. He meets a woman named Lisa, 44, at a friend's dinner gathering. Lisa is great at reading men. She can spot neediness, insecurity, hidden desperation a mile away. But with Mark, she feels something different. He's polite but not eager. He listens but doesn't rush to impress. He laughs but doesn't perform. She walks away thinking, I can't quite figure him out. That alone pulls her back in emotionally. Why? Because ambiguity creates focus, and when a woman focuses on you, attraction grows. Now think about the opposite type of man, the one who reveals every intention, every insecurity, every emotion in the first 20 minutes. She reads him instantly, and because of that, she loses interest instantly. There's nothing to discover, no layers, no depth. Women don't fall for men they fully understand. They fall for men who make them wonder. Stoic philosophy supports this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When your thoughts are grounded, when you're not frantic or seeking her approval, your presence naturally becomes harder to read. Not because you're hiding anything, but because your emotions aren't leaking out everywhere. A woman feels this difference in your tone, your pacing, your body language. That unreadability signals emotional strength. And here's where it gets interesting. When she can't read your intentions, she starts trying to interpret your behavior. She studies your pauses. She replays your conversations. She tries to understand your quiet moments. She pays attention to the small things you do instead of the big things you say. You become a puzzle worth solving. Back to the example. After the dinner, Lisa texts Mark. He responds, but not instantly. He answers clearly, but not with paragraphs. He keeps the conversation warm, but grounded. He doesn't seek validation. He doesn't rush. And slowly she starts adjusting her energy to match his. She softens. She shows more femininity. She becomes more expressive because she wants clarity from him, and the only way to get clarity is to invest more. This is how unreadability works. It shifts the emotional labor from you to her. And women, especially mature women, do not invest emotional energy unless they feel something real. But let me be clear, my friend. Unreadability isn't about being cold. It's about being controlled. It's about not revealing your entire emotional world to someone who hasn't earned that access yet. It's giving her just enough to feel connected, but not enough to feel certain. That balanced, calm presence with subtle distance is what makes desire form in her mind before she ever admits it out loud. If you've ever seen a woman lean in because she couldn't quite figure you out, drop this in the comments. I've seen that. Stick with me, because next we talk about why your silence, your pauses, and your self-control can flip her entire emotional script. Number 4. Why your silence makes her imagine you have options. My friend, here's a truth. Most men never realize a woman doesn't fear your words. She fears your silence. Not the silent treatment, not games, not manipulation. Just the quiet confidence of a man who isn't rushing, reacting, or trying to prove himself. That kind of silence sends a message louder than anything you could say. And the moment she feels it, her mind starts filling in the blanks. Women rarely assume the best from a man who talks too much, but they almost always assume the best from a man who speaks with intention and holds his silence with ease. When you're not constantly available, when you don't reply instantly, when you're calm, instead of chasing her mind, automatically jumps to one conclusion: other women must want him. You didn't say it. You didn't hint it. You didn't brag about it. She imagines it because silence forces reflection, and reflection creates stories. Stoic wisdom explains this beautifully. Seneca wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life." In other words, a man who is quiet isn't weak, he's seasoned, he's measured, he isn't controlled by impulse. He has learned to pause before reacting. Women feel this emotional discipline instantly, and discipline to them feels like maturity, status, and selectiveness. Now here's the psychological twist. When you're silent at the right moments, not withdrawn, not cold, simply composed, she assumes you aren't desperate. And in her world, a man who isn't desperate must have options, because most men do the exact opposite. Most men flood her phone, they overexpress, they overshare. They try to keep her attention like it's slipping away every second. So when you don't act like that, when you stay grounded, when you're not trying to convince her to like you, she feels a shift. Suddenly, she's not sure where she stands with you. That uncertainty triggers curiosity. Curiosity triggers desire. And desire triggers pursuit. Your silence lets her imagination work for you. And trust me, her imagination is far more powerful than your words. Because when she fills in the gaps herself, the story becomes emotionally real to her. She starts watching how you move. She starts wondering why you're different. She starts paying attention to how you carry yourself, your tone, your timing. She puts energy into understanding you. And where energy flows, attraction grows. But let me make this clear. Purposeful silence must come from inner stability, not insecurity. You're not quiet because you're scared. You're quiet because you're centered. You're not waiting. You're living. You're not holding back affection. You just don't give it away without thought. That's the difference between a man who manipulates and a man who commands respect. Women can feel the difference instantly. When your presence says, "I'm good," either way, her instincts shift. She softens. She opens up. She becomes more expressive because she wants clarity from you. And clarity only comes from effort. That effort is attraction. If you want to go deeper, if you want the hidden dynamics, the advanced Stoic dating frameworks, and the lessons I don't share publicly, join the membership. That's where I teach the real strategies that transform how women experience you. Now stay with me. Because next we're breaking down why masculine stillness doesn't just attract her, it changes the way she behaves around you. Number 5. The moment she starts wanting your approval. My friend, here's something most men never notice. The moment a woman starts wanting your approval is the moment the dynamic between you and her shifts completely. It doesn't happen when you chase her. It doesn't happen when you over-explain yourself. It doesn't happen when you try to impress her. It happens when she feels you're evaluating her just as much as she's evaluating you. That's when desire starts to tilt in your direction. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Take a guy named Daniel, 52. Successful contractor, calm energy, lives in Texas. He meets a woman named Rachel, 46, at a networking event. At first, she's warm, friendly, and charming. She knows the game. She's used to men leaning in, quickly complimenting her too soon, making her the prize before they even learn anything about her. But Daniel doesn't do that. He listens. He asks thoughtful questions. He smiles, but not with hunger. He gives her attention, but not approval. And that's when something shifts inside her. She starts noticing herself trying harder. She adjusts her tone. She watches his reactions. She becomes more expressive, more open, more feminine. Why? Because when a man doesn't hand out approval freely, a woman suddenly wants to earn it. Female psychology is built around emotional reading. When your attention is easy, she values it less. When your attention is selective, she values it more. And the moment she wonders whether you approve of her, her habits, her mindset, her feminine energy, that's the moment she invests. Investment creates attachment, and attachment creates attraction. But here's the important part. Your approval only has power if it's real. Not fake, not performative, not a tactic. Real approval means you observe before deciding. You don't rush. You don't praise too soon. You don't try to keep her comfortable. You let your standards guide your behavior, not your emotions. Women feel this instantly. They feel when you're not impressed yet. They feel when you're evaluating them quietly. And they feel when you're not swayed by beauty alone. In the Stoic sense, this comes from living by inner standards. As Marcus Aurelius said, If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. When you apply that to dating, your approval becomes grounded. You only express interest when it aligns with your values. You only show affection when she's earned it. You only open up when she shows consistency, not just charm. This is why calm men drive women crazy. Because you're not waiting for her judgment, you're making your own. And that balance flips her instincts. Back to Daniel and Rachel. After they talk, Rachel texts him later that night, something she rarely does first. She compliments something he said. She asks questions. She tries to continue the connection. That's not because she's desperate, it's because she senses that Daniel's approval is meaningful and she wants to feel aligned with it. When this shift happens, you'll notice small signs. She watches your expressions carefully. She listens more deeply. She asks what you think. She becomes softer around you. These are signs she wants your approval, and the key is to acknowledge them without giving it all away at once. Approval should be earned gradually, naturally, and authentically. If you've ever seen a woman suddenly try a little harder with you, drop this below. I noticed that. Stick with me, because next we break down the emotional trigger that makes her feel magnetized to your calm presence without you lifting a finger. Number 6. How controlled touch turns into desire. My friend, let's talk about something most men completely overlook: the power of controlled touch. Not grabbing, not clinging, not trying to make a move. I'm talking about calm, intentional, grounded physical contact, the kind that instantly tells a woman she's dealing with a man who knows exactly who he is and exactly what he's doing. You see, women don't respond to the touch itself. They respond to the energy behind the touch. When a man touches her from insecurity, from excitement, from overeagerness, she feels it as pressure. But when a man touches her from stillness, from presence, from emotional control, it becomes something entirely different. It becomes desire. Controlled touch isn't about reaching for her. It's about being so calm in your body that she feels safe entering your space. The truth is simple. Women trust a man faster when he isn't trying to use physical contact to get something from them. And because they trust him, the touch becomes more intimate, more charged, more meaningful. This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly. Desire works the same way. A woman doesn't fall for you because you touched her. She becomes attracted because your touch reveals your discipline, your restraint, your ability to be close without being needy. That is rare. And rarity creates value. Here's the psychology behind it. Humans mirror the emotional state of the person they're near. When you're calm, she relaxes. When she relaxes, her guard drops. And when her guard drops, she becomes more aware of the feelings in her body. That awareness is the spark of desire. Most men never reach that point because their touch is too fast, too frequent, or too intentional. They show their agenda before they show their presence. Controlled touch, on the other hand, says, "I want nothing from you. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable with you. I'm here because I choose to be, not because I need to be." Women feel that difference instantly. Think about small moments. Her hand brushes yours and you don't immediately grab it. She leans in slightly and you don't rush to fill the space. She gives a playful nudge and your calm response makes the moment linger. These subtle exchanges tell her she can trust your presence, not because you're passive, but because you're not rushed. Women associate patience with power. They associate self-control with masculine depth. And when those two things mix, desire forms quietly, naturally, almost invisibly. There's another layer to this. When you use controlled touch, she becomes the one who escalates. Not because she's bold, but because she feels safe enough to show interest. She closes the distance. She initiates micro-touches. She mirrors your calm, and she starts reading your reactions more closely. That's when the dynamic flips. A woman desires a man most when she feels He could move forward, but he doesn't need to. That balance, available but not eager, present but not pressing, is what keeps her thinking about you long after the moment ends. If you've ever felt a woman respond strongly to a slow, calm moment of contact, drop this below. I remember that. Let's keep going, because next we're going to talk about the signal she feels when your presence, not your words, pulls her deeper into your frame. Number 7. The cold confidence behind your limited attention. My friend, here's the part most men struggle with. A woman isn't drawn to the attention you give her. She's drawn to the attention you don't give her. Not out of cruelty, not as a game, but because the man who gives attention selectively communicates something she can't ignore. He has standards, he has direction, and he isn't emotionally available to just anyone. Let me show you exactly how this works in real life. Take a man named Robert, 55, who runs a small but successful construction company in Colorado. He's disciplined, measured, and carries himself with a quiet authority. He meets a woman named Sarah, 49, at a friend's cookout. She's charismatic, confident, and used to being the center of male attention. But not with Robert. He talks to her, calmly listens carefully, shares a story or two, but he doesn't hover. He doesn't follow her around. He doesn't fight for her attention like every other guy does. He gives her warmth, but in small, intentional doses. And that tiny dose of attention, controlled and limited, creates more tension in her than constant praise from any other man ever could. This is the psychology. When something is scarce, the mind values it more. When something is abundant, the mind takes it for granted. Women naturally assume that a man who gives too much attention early on is overinvested, insecure, or desperate for connection. But when a man gives his attention sparingly while staying calm, grounded, and respectful, she instantly feels something different. She feels curiosity. She feels alert. She feels a pull. And that pull is desire. But here's what makes limited attention so powerful. It signals confidence without you having to say a word. When you're warm but not constantly available, she assumes you have a full life. She assumes other women respect you. She assumes you're not emotionally dependent. And more importantly, she assumes you know your value. Stoic philosophy sits right at the center of this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about you." In dating, this translates to emotional independence. You're not chasing approval. You're not adjusting yourself to fit her expectations. You're not handing out validation like it's free. Your attention is earned. Your interest is measured. Your presence is deliberate. Women feel this in the smallest interactions. Your pacing in conversation, the calm way you respond, the way you don't rush to keep the dialogue going. This emotional restraint creates an impression of depth, and depth is rare. Rare things are desirable. Back to Robert and Sarah. After the cookout, she finds herself thinking about him more than she expected. Why? Because she didn't fully get him. He gave her just enough attention to feel seen, but not enough to feel certain. That uncertainty makes her lean forward. It makes her reach out first. It makes her try harder to understand him. When a woman senses a man's attention is limited not because he's cold, but because he's balanced, she instinctively starts investing more. She becomes the one initiating conversations. She becomes more expressive. She becomes more emotionally present around him. This is the shift most men never experience because they give too much too soon. But when you master limited attention, you flip the dynamic. She stops wondering if you like her and starts wondering if she meets your standards. If you've ever seen a woman lean in because your energy stayed controlled, drop this below. I've felt that. Don't go anywhere, because next we're diving into the emotional trigger that makes your calm presence feel addictive to her. Number 8. The emotional gravity she can't resist. My friend, when a man becomes calm, grounded, and emotionally steady, he develops something most men never even realize: they're missing emotional gravity. It's that quiet pull women feel around you. Not because you're loud, not because you're performing, but because your presence changes the temperature of the room. And trust me, a woman feels that long before she admits it. Emotional gravity is what happens when you're so composed inside yourself that she naturally orients her energy toward you. She starts matching your tone. She slows her voice. She gets softer, more feminine, more curious. Why? Because your emotional state becomes the stronger, more stable force. You're not just a man she's talking to. You're a man she's reacting to physically, mentally, and emotionally. Most men chase emotional reactions. Men with emotional gravity cause them. And the key to this pull is simple. Your emotions don't jump. You don't rush. You don't fidget. You don't fill silence. You don't crack under pressure or lean in trying to impress. You stay anchored, calm, aware, and fully in your body. Women feel that steadiness like a physical signal. It tells her, you're safe here, you're seen here, but you can't control me. That combination, safety plus mystery, creates an intensity no amount of compliments or smooth lines can replicate. Stoic philosophy captures this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Women feel that strength even if they can't explain it. And more importantly, they chase it. Because emotional gravity stands out in a world full of men who are shaky, reactive, and unpredictable. Here's the deeper psychology. When a woman senses a man who is emotionally stable, her nervous system relaxes. She feels safe enough to drop the small defenses she uses with reactive men. That calmness creates a contrast inside her body. She realizes how chaotic other men make her feel compared to how centered she feels around you. That contrast makes you unforgettable. But emotional gravity isn't created by acting emotionless. That's where many men go wrong. It's created by expressing only what's necessary, reacting slowly instead of instantly, choosing your words instead of spilling them, staying grounded under pressure, allowing silence to exist without fear. It's not coldness. It's not detachment. It's emotional leadership. When you speak with intention. When you listen, you actually listen. When you pause with comfort. When you touch with stability. All of these small behaviors add up to something women instinctively crave, a man who doesn't need reassurance to remain himself. This is what makes emotional gravity irresistible. She's not drawn to you because you're perfect. She's drawn to you because you're unaffected. Your value isn't based on her reaction. Your mood doesn't shift depending on how much attention she gives. And that independence forces her to adjust herself to your rhythm. That's why women soften around calm men. That's why they open up faster. That's why they get more expressive. That's why they feel a pull they can't completely explain. Your emotional gravity makes her feel something real, something rare. And rare feelings are the ones she chases. If this hits home for you, drop this below. I want that. Stay tuned, because next, we're breaking down the moment when your calm presence transforms into something even more powerful, an emotional standard she starts measuring all other men against. Number 9. The stillness that makes her test you harder. My friend, here's something most men never see coming. The calmer you become, the more she will test you. Not because she dislikes you, not because she's trying to push you away, but because your stillness triggers something powerful in her. It makes her want to confirm whether your confidence is real or just a mask. Women don't test weak men. They test the men who might be strong. And when you show emotional stillness, when you don't react fast, when you don't chase, when you don't get thrown off, you instantly stand out from every man she's used to. That's when the tests start. Not to judge you, but to understand you. Let me give you a real example. Take Michael 50, a calm, steady man from Arizona. recently divorced, financially stable, and rebuilding his life with intention. He meets Emma, 46, at a charity event. Emma is warm and feminine, but also sharp enough to read men quickly. The surprising thing, she can't read Michael, so she tests him. One day she replies slower. Another day she asks a slightly provocative question. She brings up an ex in passing. She pulls back her energy to see if he panics. A younger version of Michael would have folded instantly, but now he stays still. His tone doesn't change. His pacing doesn't speed up. His attention remains calm, measured, and completely unaffected. And because he stays grounded, Emma becomes more attracted, not less. Here's why. A woman tests not to push you away, but to feel your emotional strength firsthand. She wants to know if your calm is real, if your confidence is real, if your stability is real. And testing is simply the tool she uses to feel that truth. She isn't looking for perfection. She's looking for consistency. When you fail a test by reacting, getting emotional, getting insecure, or demanding reassurance, she instantly knows the calmness you displayed was temporary. But when you pass a test by staying steady, she feels something shift inside her. She feels safer. She feels more feminine. She feels more open. That emotional opening is where attraction deepens. In the case of Michael and Emma once, she realizes he doesn't respond to pressure. She softens. She laughs more. She opens up more personally. She texts more consistently. And eventually she starts seeking his emotional read on things because she now trusts the man behind the stillness. The truth is simple. Your stillness forces her to reveal herself, and her tests force you to reveal your backbone. But here's the trap most men fall into. They take tests personally. Big mistake. A test isn't an attack. It's curiosity. It's her way of asking, can I trust the man you appear to be? If your calm breaks under pressure, she interprets it as instability. But if your calm holds, if you stay grounded, composed, and centered, that's when she feels something deeper than attraction. She feels respect. And respect is the foundation of desire in mature women. So remember this, my friend. Stillness is not the absence of emotion. Stillness is emotional control. And emotional control is the rarest form of masculinity she'll ever experience. If you've ever noticed a woman test you harder, the calmer you became, drop this in the comments. I've lived that. Don't go anywhere. Because next we're entering the final piece, the shift that turns your calm masculinity into something she can't forget, even if she tries. Number 10. The Stoic rules that turn calm men into obsession. My friend, this is where everything comes together. Calm men don't become unforgettable by accident. They become unforgettable because they follow quiet, powerful rules that shape the way women experience them. These rules come straight from psychology, experience, and the discipline found in Stoic philosophy. And when you live by them, not just perform them, you stop being a guy she likes and become the man she can't stop thinking about. The first rule is simple. Never rush your emotions. A calm man feels everything, but he doesn't react immediately. Women are deeply sensitive to pacing. When you respond too fast, too eagerly, or too emotionally, she feels your need for reassurance. But when you move with patience, answering when you're ready, speaking when you mean it, the emotional frame shifts. Suddenly, she's the one adjusting to your rhythm. The second rule, stay anchored in your purpose. A man who lives for approval collapses under pressure. A man who lives for purpose becomes magnetic. Women are drawn to men who wake up with direction, who protect their mission, and who structure their lives around something bigger than romance. In the Stoic mindset, purpose is what protects you from chaos. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free. Freedom comes from direction, and direction makes a man irresistible." The third rule, lead the emotional pace, not the emotional tone. Here's what men misunderstand. A woman doesn't need you to be overly emotional or overly cold. She needs you to be steady. She needs to feel that your tone doesn't break when hers changes. When she gets nervous, you remain composed. When she gets excited, you stay grounded. When she tests, you hold your frame. This steadiness is what makes a woman feel safe enough to show her real self, and that vulnerability is what creates obsession. The fourth rule: reveal yourself slowly. Women lose interest in men who reveal everything instantly, not because sharing is bad, but because mystery builds emotional investment. Calm men share their stories, feelings, and experiences gradually, never all at once. They let a woman earn deeper parts of them, and because she earns it, she values it. The fifth rule: your boundaries shape your worth. A man without boundaries becomes invisible. A man with boundaries becomes unforgettable. When you calmly say no, when you walk away from disrespect, when you protect your time and your peace, when you refuse to negotiate your values, you rise in her mind. This is masculine maturity, and mature women crave it. And the final rule, the one most men never master: stay calm when she becomes emotional, not dismissive, not robotic, calm. Your steadiness regulates her nervous system. Your presence softens her edges. Your tone lowers her defense. A woman becomes obsessed with a man who can hold space for her feelings without being consumed by them. This balanced strength plus empathy is irresistible. When you live by these rules, something powerful happens. Your calm is no longer just calm, it becomes identity. Your discipline becomes confidence. Your presence becomes emotional gravity. And your energy becomes the standard she compares every other man to. This is why cold, calm men drive women crazy. Not because they're distant, but because they're controlled. Not because they're emotionless, but because they're emotionally strong. Not because they're mysterious, but because they reveal themselves with intention. You don't chase obsession. You become the man who naturally creates it. And when you reach that level, my friend, she feels it immediately and she never forgets it. You've just learned why cold, calm men create the kind of emotional pull most guys never experience, and how the Stoic rules behind that calm can turn you into the man women can't ignore, can't read, and can't forget. Apply these principles, and you'll feel the shift not only in how women respond to you, but in how you carry yourself as a man. If you want the advanced frameworks, the deeper psychology, and the lessons I don't share publicly, make sure you join the membership. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow.